After you have observed yourself for a while, after you have developed an awareness of who you are and your different habits, the next best thing you can do is to embrace that awareness, is to choose to love yourself. And I've spoken deeply on this on the Art of Self-Love series, which we released earlier. You can always tap into that to understand more. But here we are going to dive deeper into the psychology of self-awareness, knowing yourself, because knowing yourself is the beginning of every transformation. So, in every transformation, there will be a moment where learning stops and becoming begins. After looking yourself in the mirror, after seeing the blueprint, after learning how to master your emotions, none of that matters if you don't take the final step. The step most people never take. Consistency. Not perfection, not intensity, not motivation, consistency. Because the life you want is not built in a moment. It's built in the moments you don't feel like showing up. It's built in the days where nothing is exciting. It's built in the quiet decision no one sees. So this last episode, episode 4, is about that life. The life you build when no one is watching. So let's get into it. Again, welcome back to JengaPod. I'm your host, Godwin Selayo. And today, we are going practical on how to start the changes you need after knowing who you are. So part 1, the myth of motivation. Let's get something out of the way. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more inspiration. You don't need more hype. Motivation is a spark. Very beautiful, very powerful, but also temporary. Consistency is the engine. Motivation gets you started. Consistency gets you the results. Most people wait to feel ready, but readiness is a lie. You don't become consistent because you feel ready. You become consistent because you decide to. Part 2, the identity loop. Here's the psychology behind consistency. 1, your identity shapes your actions. You act like the person you believe you are. 2, your actions reinforce your identity. Every choice becomes evidence. 3, your identity strengthens. You become the person you repeatedly act like. This is the identity loop. And here's the secret. You don't need to believe in the new you fully. You just need to act like them consistently. The belief will follow the behavior. Now here's a gentle reminder. If this is speaking to you, pause for a second and like this episode. It helps more people find JengaPod, and it tells the algorithm that this message matters. And if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Amazon Music, hit a follow so you never miss an episode. Alright, let's keep going. Part 3. The 3 enemies of your consistency. There are 3 forces that break people long before failure ever does. 1. Impatience. You want results too quickly. You underestimate how long real change takes. 2. Perfectionism. You think missing one day means you have ruined everything. You think progress must be flawless. 3. Emotional turbulence. You let your feelings dictate your actions. You wait to feel like it. These 3 enemies destroy more dreams than lack of talent ever will. But once you recognize them, you can defeat them. Part 4. The rule of 1. Let me give you the simplest, most powerful, consistent tool you'll ever learn. The rule of 1. 1 habit, 1 action, 1 commitment, 1 moment of discipline. Not 10, not 5, not a whole lifestyle overhaul. Just 1. Because 1 consistent action is more powerful than 10 inconsistent ones. The rule of 1 says, do 1 thing today that your future self will thank you for. That is it. 1 thing. Part 5. The story of a man who changed his life with 10 minutes. Let me tell you a story. There was a man, let's call him Tom, who wanted to change his life. He tried everything, new routines, new habits, new systems, but he always burned out. One day, he made a decision. I'll give myself 10 minutes a day, no matter what. 10 minutes of reading, 10 minutes of exercise, 10 minutes of journaling, 10 minutes of silence. Just 10 minutes. If it didn't feel like much, it didn't feel like changing. But 10 minutes became 20, 20 became 30, 30 became a lifestyle. And one day he realized he didn't change his life with intensity, he changed it with consistency. Now here's a gentle reminder: if this is speaking to you, pause for a second and like this episode. It helps more people find JengaPod, and it tells the algorithm that this message matters. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast or Amazon Music, hit a follow so you never miss an episode. Awesome, let's keep going. Part 6, the future self contract. I want you to imagine your future self again, the version of you who is disciplined, focused, grounded, emotionally mature, aligned, respected, at peace. Now ask, what do they do daily? What do they no longer tolerate? What habits define them? What boundaries protect them? What systems support them? What choices build them? Your future self is not a fantasy. They are a contract. And every day you either honor that contract or break it. Part 7, the JengaPod challenge. For the next 7 days, I want you to practice one thing. Honor one commitment to yourself every day. Just one. Not 5, not 10, not a whole routine. One. Because consistency is not built through intensity. It's built through integrity. Now to close, if this series has spoken to you, if it has helped you see yourself, understand yourself, and rebuild yourself, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and share it. That helps more people discover JengaPod and join this journey of intentional living. And remember, you can always listen to this entire series on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. Having said so, this is JengaPod, and I'm your host, Godwin Silayo. Let's keep stacking, let's keep building, let's keep rising. And this is what the Know Yourself series is all about. So go become the person you said you would be. Having said so, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in our next series. Have a good one. Thank you.